down here in South Georgia, getting our vacation started, and walking around out here on this farm. If you're quiet, you can hear southern cricket frogs, occasionally some squirrel tree frogs when it's been raining. Today I've been hearing pileated woodpeckers, quite a few of them. And then you might hear the irrigation in the background if you're quiet. I was thinking about leadership. Far be it from me to give anybody advice on leadership, but I know good leaders and bad leaders when I see them, based on what their workers think of them and based on the actions that they do. Here comes some big airplanes, crop dusters. There it goes. It's a lot closer in person. The reason I was thinking about leadership here recently is actually for a few weeks now. This was over a month ago. I was at my alma mater at Freed-Hardeman, and I was there to buy an alumni t-shirt and to buy a lectureship book. That's why I was there. I was visiting family, but I went and stopped on campus to buy those things. And that same day that I was on campus, they were having some kind of event, dedication event or something. And so anyways, when I got on campus, I saw all these tables and chairs set up. Every so often I see a log or something I have to flip, so I gotta stop and go flip the log. Nothing under there. Had all these tables and chairs set up. They were getting ready for whatever the event was at the time. And I noticed out across campus at some of the other tables that I could see off in the distance, I saw the president of the university, David Shannon. I saw him walking across campus, and then he stopped and he started brushing off one of the tables. Since these were outside, it probably had some leaves or something that had blown onto the tables. And so he started brushing off the table and fixing the chairs and that sort of thing. And I thought, he is the president of the university. He doesn't have to do that. And I can think of some people, whether it be university presidents, school principals, just the boss of a big company, whatever the case may be, I can think of some people that either I have worked for or that I have heard about, where I'm pretty sure they would not have done that. They would have gotten back to their office and called somebody. And as a matter of fact, he had in his hand, he was carrying some things, and it would have been very easy for him to just go back to his office. That's the direction he was headed. He could have just went back to his office, set his stuff down, and then just called somebody from, whoever was in charge of setting everything up, and said, hey, I just walked across campus and saw that some of the tables had some debris on them. They need to be cleaned up. Get the chairs straightened up before we have the event. That would have been very easy, and I could see a lot of people doing that. And I don't think anybody would have thought anything bad of it, considering how many tables were out there. But maybe all the tables he walked across were fine except for that one. And so rather than call somebody to fix one table, he did it himself. He brushed it off, fixed the chairs, and then went on his way. President of the university doing that himself. It's a pretty small thing, not a big deal for most of us. But like I said, I've known of some people that I'm pretty sure they would not have done that. And so I thought, that's kind of a demonstration of some good leadership. And I kind of felt good about my alma mater having someone like that as an example for the students to see. Kind of funny, it was about a week or two later, I got the alumni email newsletter. Well, one of the emails that I get, could have been on Facebook, I don't remember where I saw it, but Freed-Hardeman announced that after the coming school year, I believe, David Shannon is going to step down as president, and he's going to go back to preaching. And it was like the next day after that, a guy I go to church with said that he saw David Shannon at the last leaders convention, I think it was, and he talked to him, and Brother Shannon said that he really enjoyed being president of Freed-Hardeman and being around the college students, but he really missed working with families. And so here's someone who, has gone to be a president of a university, but realizes that the prestige that might come with that, and I don't know how much prestige that actually is, but at least among churches of Christ, being the president of Freed-Hardeman might come with some level of prestige. But he thought, I would rather work with families. As much as I have enjoyed working with college students, I miss working with families. And so my place is not as president. My place is working with a congregation where I can work with whole families. So gnats are terrible out here too. I thought about that. I don't know who they will pick to be the next president of Freed-Hardeman, but if I had any advice for them, it would be someone who demonstrates the kind of leadership that is a servanthood type of leadership. Not someone who's just going to stand and point at things and say, this needs to be done, this needs to be done, y'all go do that. But someone who will say, hey, come help me do this. And basically saying, I'm doing the work with you. I'm not telling you the work to do. I'm here doing the work with you. The best boss or supervisor that I've ever worked for, I would do about anything he asked me to do, simply because he said he would never ask me to do something he wasn't willing to do himself. And if he ever saw me doing more than what he would have done, he would say, you don't have to do all that. And he would tell me, look, this is all you need to do. And I knew that he always had my back in that sense, and that he wasn't going to put the bad jobs on me. If he wasn't willing to do it himself, he wouldn't do it either. That's the kind of leader that can get the subordinates to do things that otherwise they might not want to do. And that's the kind of leader that I think the next president of Freed-Hardeman should be also. I think David Shannon had that as well. Just wanted to put that out there for you. I'm going to keep walking. Maybe I can find some more logs to flip over. Maybe I can find a snake or something cool. Anyway, y'all have fun. I'm on vacation, so I'm going to go have fun.